How about we feed some tarantulas? Okay, let's see if we can do this without these little guys running away. This first one here is a Brachypelma pulchra, the Brazilian black. And the guy I bought these slings off of said that they are eating pretty decent sized crickets. So I'm going to drop one in here. See if he'll take it. And he did. Look at that. Ferocious little guy. Very cool. And these guys are tiny. I mean, I am zoomed in pretty much as I can go. That's about it. But these guys are kind of slow growers, Brachypelmas, so I'm probably going to have him as a little sling for a long time here. But I'm happy to see him eating. So we'll add a little bit of water to that substrate there, and we will put him back and move on to the next. So this is the little girl that I got from the unboxing gone wrong. She ate for me once already, but we will give her another cricket here and see how she does. She didn't eat on camera last time. She will. And of course it runs and hides inside. Smart. Very smart. Let's see if he'll come out. And this is my Brachypelma Hamorri, the Mexican red knee. Oh yeah, great takedown. What a girl. Very cool. That was a pretty ferocious takedown for such a little spider. Very neat. And we'll move on to the next one. Okay, so this little girl is my Aphonopelma calcodes, the Arizona blonde. She's been a pretty good eater for me so far. And again, these are pretty docile usually. Mine's a little bit feisty. I walked past her enclosure one day and just looked in. I mean, she couldn't feel the breath, I'm sure. I didn't touch the enclosure at all. And she came running out of that tunnel, fangs out, arms up, hitting the surface of the ground, hitting the sides of her enclosures. I mean, she was getting kind of crazy. So, I don't know, she's a feisty, crazy little thing. I like her. But her abdomen's a little bit small. So I've been feeding her a couple times a week, trying to fatten her up. And I'm going to give her some super worms here. See if we can't get a little bit of size on her. Oops. And of course that falls down to there, so we will get another one. Ready? Ooh. She does not waste any time. Look at the size of the chelicerae on her compared to the rest of her body. She's pretty awesome looking. And we'll move on to the next one. Okay, this is my Brachypelma Albopilosum, the Honduran curly hair. The one I lovingly call Derpy because he's a little goofy looking. If you notice his abdomen there, he has kicked off quite a few of his urticating hairs. And his abdomen, his or hers, excuse me, this isn't a confirmed female or male. I just tend to call them him and her for some reason. But the abdomen's a little bit big on him or her. And like I said, he's been kicking off a lot of those hairs. So I'm assuming he could be in pre-molt here. Usually he's an incredibly feisty eater. This is the one that in my first feeding video jumped up and grabbed a hold of the tongs. I'm also going to give him a super worm here, just a smaller one, since that abdomen's looking pretty twerkalicious. Man, well, no pre-molt here, huh? And he's usually pretty brave. It's not like him to really hide inside of his enclosure like that or inside of his hide. He's usually out in the open, but as soon as I picked up his enclosure to bring it over here to where I'm filming, he kind of ran in there. Hopefully maybe he'll take a little walk out here for us. Again, you can see a lot of the hairs missing off that abdomen and how big it is. But he took a superworm, so looks like no pre-molt quite yet. And we'll move on to the next one. So this is a new addition. It's my non-duchromatus, and she looks a little bit flighty. When I put her into this container, I don't know if that video will come out before or after this, but she was a little bit defensive. It even gave me a threat posture. So I'm going to be a little bit careful. I have a little catch cup for her just in case she decides to take off. This is her first feed. I don't know what kind of eater she is just yet, but we're going to try it with a nice cricket here. So are we ready? I'll put it right behind her. And it jumps into the water. Suicidal cricket. Perfect. Doesn't seem like she's very interested, does it? She could just be shy. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever tried to feed her, so I might leave that cricket in there. You know, tiny cricket like that with such a big spider, she's really no harm leaving it in there. I'll leave it in there for a little while and check back in a couple hours and see if she didn't grab it. She might just be camera shy, might want to eat this without all the lights on her, so we'll try that. So as soon as she's not on film, she grabs the cricket. I don't know if you can see it with this little GoPro footage here, but she has the cricket there in her fangs, and she is eating away. So of course she wouldn't do it on camera for me, but that's all right, at least she's eating. And this is my biggest tarantula at the moment. She's a good, probably 5 inches stretched out, maybe even a little more. She's a pretty beefy girl. It's a confirmed female, Aphonopelma Seemanni, the Costa Rican zebra, or the striped knee. And this is actually her first feeding. I just got her a couple days ago, and again, I don't know if that video is going to come out first where I rehoused her or not, but this is the very first feeding. So I've given her a day to just kind of relax and get used to her enclosure, and I'm going to see if she will take a food item. Let's go ahead and see how she reacts. All right. Quick and to the point. I like that. She's a pretty big girl. I wonder if she'll take 2. Let's see if she can fit 2 in there. And she does. Look at that. No problem. 2 crickets for a big T. I'm hoping to get a little happy dance here, so we'll keep it on her for a minute or so. And happy dance. And I've heard they do this, what we call in the hobby a happy dance, to lay down a bed of web underneath them so that in nature any other insects that are in the ground aren't going to be able to come up and take the prey item away from her. They also make a bedding of web like this when they're going to molt, so this is kind of a protective thing. It just puts a layer of strong web protection between them and the ground. My light is going out. We will have to wrap this up. Most people love the happy dance after a tarantula eats, but I also think the happy stance is equally funny. My tarantulas tend to stand as high off the ground as they can when they have a meal in their fangs. I would guess that it's to keep their hard-earned meal from falling prey to other insects that might be on the ground. They hate sharing their meal and try to keep their food as far away from the ground as possible, and I think it's pretty cool looking. If you like this video and want to see more, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay up to date on my growing collection, and I'll see you in the next one.